By Brajesh Upadhyay, BBC News, Washington, D.C. Image caption: The Patels about to get on the plane. A cohort of Indian Americans who have made the fortune in the U.S. are increasingly turning to larger-scale philanthropy. Kiran Patel's giant gift to a Florida university is the new high-water mark. Every day at school, 8-year-old Kiran Patel would watch longingly as his younger brother and friends snacked on chocolate and soda bought with the pocket money. His 1 shilling a day pocket money could easily pay for those goodies. But to him it was a waste. He dropped it in a piggy bank instead. In a few years, he had saved enough to buy the ship fare from Zambia to India for himself, his parents and his 2 siblings, the first trip home in 12 years. 6 decades later, Dr. Kiran C. Patel recounts the story aboard his 14-seater private bombardier jet on his way to Tampa, Florida. He has come a long way from that small town in Zambia. Just hours prior, he and his wife, Dr. Pallavi Patel, pledged $200 million to a Florida university, the largest donation ever from an Indian American to a U.S. institution. Nova Southeastern University (NSU) will use the gift to create 2 medical colleges, one in Florida, another in India. I learnt a few very early lessons in life, he says. A penny saved is a penny earned, and one should drop it where it makes the maximum impact. Image caption: Dr. Kiran Patel and Dr. Pallavi Patel. Patel grew up in apartheid Zambia, where he had to move 80 kilometers to go to school as there was none in his town for non-white students. He attended medical school in India and moved to the U.S. with his wife, also a medical doctor. On Thanksgiving Day in 1976, Patel went from cardiologist to businessman when he created a network of physicians with different specialties. But the real breakthrough came in 1992 when he took over a health insurance company on the verge of bankruptcy. 10 years later, when the Patels sold the firm, it had more than 400,000 members and revenue in excess of $1 billion. His business empire is not without controversy. Earlier this year, 2 of his businesses paid more than $30 million in a settlement after accusations of artificially inflating costs for care. The firm has not admitted wrongdoing as part of the settlement. Patel likes to call himself an aggressive entrepreneur and believes in the old Gujarati adage, when the goddess of wealth comes knocking, don't run away to wash your face. I'm a risk-taker and a 90-miles-per-hour guy, always pressing the accelerator, he says, then points to his wife of 44 years, Dr. Pallavi Patel. She is the one who applies the brakes. In recent years, many successful Indian Americans have changed the giving habits, moving from donations to temples and religious institutions to using the newly acquired wealth to shape societies back home and in the United States. The Patels are not alone in the scale of the givings. New York couple Chandrika and Ranjam Tandon pledged $100 million to the NYU School of Engineering in 2015. The Sanjeev Bansal Foundation provides backing to a number of non-profits and foundations in the Washington, D.C. area. Patel says philanthropy would be part of his life even if he wasn't rich. My father didn't have a lot, but be it in Zambia or Gujarat, he was always helping those who were in need, he says. Among the biggest beneficiaries of the Patels' largesse is the University of South Florida, where they established a research center focused on solving problems in the developing world in a sustainable way, and a Tampa Arts Conservatory. They also fund a number of initiatives in India, including a 50-bed hospital in a Gujarat village. Patel says $50 million of his donation to NSU will go directly to the school and $150 million will go towards building a medical education complex in nearby Clearwater. The aim is partly to improve health care in India and Zambia and to train health care professionals in these countries at an affordable cost. The ultimate plan is to have Florida students get practical experience in India, and Indian students spend a year at the Florida school. By bringing American-style education to India, the philanthropist says he will be able to reduce the expenses considerably. A Zambian student can stay in India for less than $2,000, including accommodation and food, Patel says. We are able to help thousands of people, and at the same time provide the same quality of education as imparted in the U.S. American students in India will benefit from exposure to lots of different diseases and health situations, he says. To stretch the same dollar to impact 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold, that's what I enjoy, he says. What he also seems to enjoy, though, is grandiose spending. In the last 5 years, he purchased 4 private jets and is halfway through building a palace-like home that's talk of the town in Tampa, Florida. The nearly 40-bedroom mansion, built entirely in red sandstone shipped from India, is impossible to miss. More than 100 people have been working on it for the past 5 years. When it's finished, Patel hopes 3 generations of his family will live in it, including his 3 children and several her children. So what would he say to the child who thought spending a shilling on soda and snacks was a waste? "I like to have the best," he says. "I know many will criticize me for this extravagance, but some will also say why not." Image caption: Patel's vast estate under construction. His wife says flying in private jets or owning beachfront properties doesn't make them any happier than what they felt as a middle-class family. "He has given more than he has splurged on himself," she says. "I think he has earned the right to enjoy as well." She says her husband is still frugal at heart, and that's how HES brought up his children. When the son, Shilan, was 9, he returned from school one afternoon and asked, "Dad, are we rich?" They were taken aback, but her husband responded, "Maybe I am rich, but you're not." "This is how we reminded them that they have to make their life on their own," she says.